Welcome to Goofy Getaways with your hosts, Amy Blades and Amy Fisher.
Hello and welcome to the Goofy Getaways podcast. I am Amy Blades, owner and CEO, and delighted to tell you that our podcast, of course, is sponsored by Goofy Getaways, our travel agency, where you can book any kind of travel that you possibly want to do with one of our spectacular agents. So thank you for being here. If you've been here before, we appreciate you coming back. If you're new, welcome, welcome. Let me introduce you to my counterpart, both of us coming from Michigan today, actually.
Yes. And it's actually sunny in Michigan today, knock on wood somewhere. It probably won't be the day that we actually post this podcast to you all. But hello, I am the other Amy. I am Amy Fisher. I'm our Vice President of Communication and Development here at Goofy Getaways and one of our travel consultants. We are very excited to have this podcast episode with you all today because we're going to talk about something a little bit spooky, but don't get scared. We're going to talk about Halloween Horror Nights, but in order to have this conversation, we had to bring a special guest onto the podcast episode as well. So we are bringing one of Amy Blade's sons, Gavin. Gavin, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi. I don't know really what to say.
You're Gavin.
Yeah, my name's Gavin. You already did that job for me. So, no, I'm excited to talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
We brought Gavin with us. Let's just be honest. So as we start talking about Halloween Horror Nights, Gavin
was our bodyguard.
He was our bodyguard. Absolutely. So when I said, hey, we're doing a podcast on HHN, and I think that since you were there with us, you need to talk about it from your perspective.
No, it's my favorite thing probably my favorite thing in all of theme parks. I love it.
It's such a well done event.
Yeah.
So cool.
So let's talk, and let's talk about what it is first for people that might not know. What is Halloween Horror Nights? So previously, before I'd never been there, I would say it's a super scary event. But now I'm going to say, because I have gone, it is a super scary fun event. How about it's just a Halloween party all through the fall up until Halloween in Orlando, but they're also in Hollywood, both of the Universal parks. It's truly a party. It's a fun, scary, as scary as you want it to be. Haunted houses, snacks, music, people. Chime in, Amy, Gavin, if I'm missing something, but it's just a big party with all those components.
I think you hit the spot, yeah.
So I think the big thing for people to know is that it's basically a special after hours event. So it is not included with your normal day park ticket. So if you're doing it in Hollywood, bear in mind that if you're going during Halloween Horror Nights season, that there's only one park in California. So that park is going to close early. And then you have this special after hours event where you would get a separate ticket for Halloween Horror Nights, or we often refer to it as HHN. And then in Orlando, they have 4 parks, right? So they have Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, Epic Universe, and Volcano Bay. Halloween Horror Nights takes place in Universal Studios Florida. So that park will close early on HHN nights. The other ones still maintain their normal hours. So if you're like, I don't want to do HHN, if you're in Florida, make sure you have a park-to-park ticket so that you can, go back and forth. So you can spend some time in Universal Studios Florida during the day, but then go hop to the other parks when it closes early for the HHN event. But
one of the cool things that you had us do was we had a ticket for the park where HHN was. So we didn't technically have to leave the park. We were actually we went to that separate area. So then we were the first people in when the party.
Yes.
So
the stay and scream. So you can either purchase a specific stay and scream ticket. There's it's a version of a ticket that you can add on to your event. Or if you have a regular day ticket, when they're kicking everyone else out of the park, you get funneled into one of these holding areas for Stay and Scream. And it makes it really cool because you can then be the first people to go into the Halloween Horror Nights houses. This is true in both Florida and California too. So it's a great way to take really good advantage of your time when you're there.
I was so nervous about this, and you know that, Amy. And if those that know Amy and I, the agency was just elated thinking about the two of us and wanted us just to record our entire time there because we were scaredy cats. I ended up loving it. I thought it was so fun and so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at them trying to scare people, at people getting scared. And then
Watching
in time, remember, I'm like, Amy, you can do this. Like, we just have to look straight, just keep walking. And then we would go through those scare zones, and it was so much fun. I do think one of the things that helped me, and this was Amy's idea too, is that we did a tour during the day of, was it 3 or 5 of the houses? I know I had to leave early.
We did the three house tour.
And the lights are on, and I now there are even times with the lights on, I'll be honest and say I was freaked out a little bit. But I'm glad that we did that because it kind of set the precedent for, okay, we can do this. And I'm like, okay, we'll do a scare zone first. And I ended up thinking it was hilarious. I had so much fun. Amy can speak for herself. She ended up not like loving it as much as I did. I think you liked it, but you were like, Amy, we are not walking through these scare zones.
I've just never seen you walk that fast in my entire life, if I'm being honest. And Gavin can back me up on this. Like,
it was hard getting videos of you.
Right? Like, we got to the scare zone and you're like, we're going to do this. And you just took off. And I'm like, I don't know if I can keep up. Like,
she's wondering why she's not getting scared, and it's because she's just running by the actors. They're like, I'm not gonna mess with that one.
It was just like, bye, Amy. Like,
oh my goodness. But I think I always thought that the entire event was the chainsaws and that they like chase you around the park with chainsaws. The thing that I really did like about this, and I used it in the beginning and then I did get more daring, but there are safe spaces, like sidewalks that are safe spaces where they can't come near you. And was there like a chainsaw or two maybe, but it was not like I thought that it was going to be. There's definitely room for getting freaked out. I mean,
oh yeah,
the haunted houses, that's a whole other conversation for, because that, like the Ghostbusters one, but yeah, and I think you have to work your way up to. I mean, they get scarier.
If you're going to get scared, you can get scared.
Yeah, for sure.
We will put the little caveat on this as well. Universal's official warning on this is that they recommend this event for guests 13 and older. So if you have guests under the age of 13, it's not saying that they're not allowed. It is just that Universal does not recommend this event. This is a little bit more of, it is meant to scare people, right? And you can pick how intense it's going to be, right? Like my very first year that I went to HHN a few years ago, I literally stood on the sidewalks the whole time. So sidewalks are safe zones. And I just watched people in the scare zone and I was still jumping every like 10 seconds because, Gavin's nodding his head because he's like, I know exactly what she was doing. And I still jumped everywhere. And I've slowly gotten braver and braver as I've continued to go. And little things like, but you're slowly.
Didn't I keep saying this to you, Amy? I'm like, they can't touch us, right? Like, they can't touch us. Like, they can't touch us, right? They can't touch us.
You were getting so worked up.
They don't want to touch you. Let's be very honest. Like, they don't want to touch you and you don't want to touch them.
And then I was fine. I'm like, if they can't touch us, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I would say, and you might have some 13-year-olds that are all in on that kind of stuff. And, parents know their kids and kids better, but yeah, definitely not for little ones. I didn't even see little ones like that I'm thinking. I mean, definitely no strollers or
I don't think
know.
13's at that age.
I've definitely seen those.
No way.
Granted, it's not a ton, but if you're a parent, like, you know your child best to make whatever decision you want for your kid. But again, it is very much more of an adult Halloween themed event. You have the scare zones, you have haunted houses,
snacks.
You have snacks, themed treats.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get any? I was like, did you guys get any specific themed treats that you really liked?
Yeah. I loved the marshmallow.
I was just gonna say the one that we did that was my favorite was the s'more.
That was probably one of my favorite things too.
From
We
Ghostbusters.
did get a couple drinks also. They do have alcoholic drinks or non-alcoholic drinks, but they really try to do some theming. I don't think the lines were too bad for food, honestly. I was a little bit nervous about like, is this going to be an overpacked event? I mean, it's definitely busy, but I feel like they do a pretty good job of maneuvering people around. I will say, although I'm not a big haunted house person, I would absolutely recommend doing the Express Pass if you're going to do HHN, because the wait times on those houses, I mean, if you are some of the first people there, you're going to be able to get into one house, whichever one you pick, you'll be able to get into one right away. But if you're planning your whole night and you want to hit all of them, I definitely think the Express Pass is worth it. Wouldn't
I think that's the better. You should say it as, and if you want to go to the houses, buy the Express Pass. Is what I would personally say.
Very much so. Like especially if you only have one night at HHN.
Then
if you're there for multiple days and you're like, hey, I'm going to do multiple nights at HHN, and you don't mind waiting in line for the houses, then okay, you don't necessarily have to have Express Pass. But I will say Express Pass or the RIP tour, which I'll talk a little bit more. I did that for one of my visits. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Those are really, if you want to try to see most of it in one night, especially if you're focused on the haunted houses. Express Pass for HHN, by the way, is only valid during HHN, and it works on the houses. If you are somebody who has stayed at a Universal Orlando resort and you know that there are some of the resorts that include Express Pass for rides during the normal day there, please keep in mind that does not include Express Pass for HHN. It is a completely separate event. So if you want Express Pass for your HHN ticket, that is a separate purchase for all guests to be able to buy. And like we're saying, if haunted houses are the priority, Express Pass is the way to go. Because instead of waiting an hour and a half to go see a house, you're going to wait maybe like 20 minutes to get in with Express Pass.
And you have done the Express Pass.
I was going to say, I feel like I got best of both worlds, because when I went in 2023, that's when I did the Express Pass, and we did everything. I think there were 8 or 10 houses, and we missed one. And then I was going to say also my favorite thing was when we went, just the 3 of us, I felt like, yes, the houses are the main point. Like, what else are you going to HHN if you're not going to the houses? But if you're someone like Amy who hates the houses, I really felt like we had a lot of fun there without doing all the houses and doing everything. The show, you can go on about whatever. But I think there's still a lot to do other than just the houses that you don't need to buy the Express Pass for. Like, you can still go have a great time without that. But
I agree.
I think it's still, in my opinion, I'd say yes, buy it for the houses and do it all the way. But I don't want it to sound like, oh, you have to do it, because you don't. But
no, I think that's fair. I think knowing what your intent when you go is, like, do have a plan. And that's, we say it obviously because we are travel consultants and because we have amazing ones at Goofy Getaways. But I always think it's good, especially booking with a travel consultant, because we really do know the ins and outs, and we know the houses ahead of time. Like, we know everything that there is to offer, and really getting a good gauge and feeling for what our clients want to go for. And I think helping you figure that out is going to help with the expense.
100%.
That's kind of my feel on it. I'm not one that needs to do all the haunted houses, but I will tell you, if I go again, I would do the Express Pass, and I would try to do a couple of the haunted houses. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the scare zones, I had so much fun and I laughed so much. But I feel like in the haunted houses, like, if you know that, I don't know.
I think you would honestly like
fun.
them.
It was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing the entire night.
You would probably laugh through the haunted houses as well. But it's it just feels very different, right? The scare zones are out in the street area, right? And so
space.
I will say that Universal does an amazing job with both the haunted houses and the scare zones. Like, the details that they put into it, the costumes for the performers are
makeup,
so good. So good. The scare zones for me feel a bit less intense because I can always see the sidewalk where I'm like, I can step off and be out of this space if something makes me too uncomfortable. In the haunted houses, it's a very narrow path. Like you're in the house.
You're
like you are, and truthfully, when
The
you're
only way to
walking
get
through the
out
haunted
is
houses,
to go-
you are walking single file back to back with tons of people, right? Because it is literally them just like funneling people through these haunted houses the whole night. And there are some like very narrow spots, and there, you know, you're turning this corner and then you all of a sudden see this or see that. Right?
Are there
all
chicken
of the things.
exits? I'd be all in on the chicken
So
exits.
when we did the unmasking tour, I think I asked this after you left, Amy, but I ended up asking our tour guide, I said, what happens if somebody is in the middle of a haunted house and is just like, I'm out. Like they throw up, they pass out, because those things happen. And so apparently there are false walls in all of the haunted houses that they can... And I'm like, I don't know if that would make me feel better or worse.
I think that would scare you.
Get right. I'm like, that would terrify me. Like the person in front of me suddenly falls down and just gets pulled out of a wall. But just so you know, there are technically safety escapes.
There's people watching. Like you are safe. Nobody's there. You
are safe. And they have security staff. Like in addition to the performers that are inside the haunted houses, there are security staff that are in there. So just a little tip if you're a chicken like I am, and I went into the haunted houses, it's kind of obvious where a scare performer is going to be in the haunted house, because you will see an actual like security guard. They're usually just in black like polo shirts and things like that. You will see them. You don't know, like, once you see them, how close the actor is going to be. But that's kind of like your signal that it's like, oh, shoot, when I round this next corner. Like, because they're there for your safety and obviously for the performer's safety. They're trying to make sure that when you get scared, you don't accidentally deck their performers and things like that. So, but there's my little, one of my many. If you're a chicken and you still want to try it, watch for the security guards. And actually my friend pointed that out to me when she and I were on the tour. And she's like, yeah, every time you see that person, like there's going to be somebody.
Just so you know, there's somebody shortly like there.
So, yeah. Which I still jumped and screamed every single time. It's fine. Mm-hmm. The performers do a great job in the scary zones.
I think it's a really fun, for people that get into, for Halloween, I've always liked Halloween for my kids, pumpkins and, candy and chili and costumes, like the fun kind of side of it. If you're someone that really gets into that, you like the scary movies, you like the gory stuff. And I just like that it's a different alternative to, people that want to go have a safe, fun experience, but still get scared out of your mind, but have good food, have some good drinks, typically good weather. I loved it. I think it's really cool. I'm really glad that we did it. I was so apprehensive. I was so scared, but I can speak to it better now when people ask. And I feel like we did a really good job of experiencing a lot of the things that they offer, to give us a really balanced, to be able to give good balanced feedback on the event.
I think if you go as a horror fan, like you were saying, like, I don't think that you're even going to get, like, terribly scared. I think it's more of, like, you're going to appreciate the art of the house. Like, that was more of my favorite thing, is, like, getting to see The Last of Us, when they did that whole entire IP, and, like, it was really cool. And, like, I feel like it's not, yes, you're going to get scared. I keep saying, like, oh, it's not. Yes, you are. There's going to be things that pop out and whatnot. But you really appreciate how detailed and how much time goes into the actors and everything about it. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's truly impressive. And I think the other thing, all three of us would agree, the show that they do. So they always do some type of a show. In Orlando, it's like a nightmare fuel theme. And it's so good. I will warn you, it's really, really loud. So if you're super sensitive to sound, maybe like bring a pair of earplugs. I promise you'll still be able to hear everything through your earplugs. But it's so well
beautiful,
put on.
I would say. Like, I will say that the show, took me a minute to kind of figure out the storyline, but it was like the scenery, the state, it was beautiful. Like, there's the dancing and the costumes, and it really was a very well done performance, I thought.
No, that was something that I gave Amy credit for. Was not that I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't prioritize going to a show during HHN. We're gonna go wait that 30 minutes for that show in a line. Like, that's just how I would see it. But now, after doing it, I'd tell everyone to go watch the show. It honestly was I'd rank it up as the best show, like, in most theme parks I've seen, let alone just for like a horror show.
Yeah.
It is a little inappropriate, I do have to say. Like,
older.
It's for older, but it's
not designed for children.
Yeah. But it's still, I don't know, still a great show. I'd still recommend it.
Yeah. It's truthfully, it's my favorite part of HHN. So I've done like 4 or 5 HHN events. And only my very last one did I finally actually go into a haunted house on it. But it's like we've been saying that the haunted houses, for some people, right, that's the whole appeal. And if that's the case, great. Express Pass or an RIP tour is definitely the way to go. But there's so many other things to do. You have multiple scare zones to go through. You have different treats to try. Honestly, I love just people watching. And I'm sure people love watching me.
It's the best.
Love to send the videos.
Oh, yeah. Amy will have to link them.
Yes.
We did get some really good ones.
Warning is be sure to be following our social media pages this fall, because I'll make sure to like repost those again on our social media pages for us. But I do want to share with everybody just a little bit about the RIP tour. So Amy, Blades, and I have talked about the VIP tours that we have done on both coasts. RIP is basically a VIP tour that happens during HHN. So again, this is a special ticketed event. If you have a VIP tour during the day, it doesn't count during HHN. You have to have the RIP tour. There's private and non-private. I had been wanting for years to bring my best friend to HHN. She loves Halloween. She loves costumes, and like I knew she'd be all into it. Again, I am the world's biggest chicken. And prior to that, I had never set foot in a haunted house. So I was just like, I don't know if I can do this, but I wanted her to have the best time possible. And so I was like, here's what we're going to do. Also, the price between Express Pass and doing the RIP tour, the non-private version, it was like maybe $100 per person more to do the RIP tour. So I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do the RIP tour. During your RIP tour, when it's the non-private version, they will take you through all 10 of the houses. And instead of going to the Express Pass lane, you literally just walk straight in. So as soon as your group gets there, there is no waiting. You just immediately walk in. So again, if you're a chicken that will freak out, even if you wait 10 to 15 minutes, RIP tour is a great way to there's no time to chicken out. The guide is like, okay, we're at this house. Here we go. They'll usually give us like a cool backstory about the house. And there are always these like little behind the scenes secret things about each of the houses. And so they'll tell you some of those like cool secret things about the different houses so that for most people, as you're walking through, you're supposed to be spotting these like cool little details. I'm just trying not to pee my pants. Let's be very honest.
Yeah. Was it like frogs last year, or was
there was snails one year?
Yeah, I just remember.
And then they always have. So fun fact, in Orlando, because they have to like pull the permits to create these well in advance, they usually name them after some type of a dessert, like the house is named after a dessert. And so once the house is built, they hide a variation of that dessert somewhere in the house. So for example, like one of the houses that I went in, you would find baklava in that haunted house. I did actually go in. Did I see it? Absolutely not. Because again, I was, just terrified.
We saw some though when we did
the unmasking tour, I did see them. So that makes it super cool. But again, with RIP, like you're not waiting in the Express Pass line. You're going straight to the front and going straight in. They make sure that you get to all 10 of the houses, assuming that nothing goes wrong. So like at the very end of our tour, one of the houses actually closed down for some safety reasons for like a few minutes, and we had just exited the house. And so if we would have waited a couple more minutes, like we wouldn't have been able to go through that house because, that things happen. The other thing that happens on the RIP tour is when you first arrive for the RIP tour, they give you like a little buffet of some treats and some snacks. It's not necessarily like a big meal or anything like that. Please eat before you go. But it was like they had some like of the skull pizza things that they have, and like the pizza fries and some of that kind of stuff. So some of the signature snacks, they have a few of those available and some things to eat. And you can like bring a bottle of water with you out on your tour. And they make sure to do like bathroom stops, and they take you to special lounges where you can purchase alcohol at these like special lounges during your tour. And then they also take you to priority seating for the show. So very, very nice that you're going to for sure see all of the scare zones, because they'll walk you through each of the scare zones. They're going to try to get you into every single one of the haunted houses, walking straight in. And then they make sure that you get priority seating for the show. And again, it's not that much more to do the RIP tour, at least the non-private version, versus the express pass.
How many people, Amy? Is it the same as a regular VIP?
So there's up to 12 people
So it's 12,
in
okay.
a tour.
Yep. Same as thing. Okay.
So, and it'd be the same if you're doing the private one. You can have up to 5 guests initially, and then beyond that, it's like an added fee, but you can still have up to 12 guests with your one guide.
Okay.
So
It's hard to pass up on something like that.
Yeah, I would agree.
like, and I am not a like socialize with people that I don't know type of a person, but it was really fun.
and then you have me making friends with everybody.
I know. Well, and that's how my friend is too. So when we did the non-private tour, because I'll be the first to admit, I did not go into all the haunted houses. I had a very real conversation with our tour guide, and I was like, okay, you need to tell me like 2 or 3 chicken houses that I can go through and not, pee my pants in the house. And our guide was absolutely amazing. Like one of the first houses we went to, he looked at me and he was like, he's like, I have to start here, but you're not going to go in this house. I was like, okay. So like the first house I went in was Ghostbusters, which everybody's like, that's such a mild house. It was still terrifying to have.
Oh, really? See? Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You were terrified?
Oh, boy.
I was terrified. It was good.
Of what?
But like I was terrified. Everything.
I'm afraid no ghost. I am afraid of a ghost. I can tell you that.
That's all love. I was just like...
But again, like the guide was amazing. But the cool thing was, because we were in this group, my friend like was walking through the house with the rest, right? It's always our group walking through the house. And so, she was able to like walk through with other people and not feel like she was alone at the same time. And like, no, she didn't become besties with anybody on the tour, but it still was nice to like her not having to go walk through the houses alone, right? She was with our group, with our tour. And we had like this really nice older couple that was on the tour with us. And the guy kept like, he was a retired cop. And so he'd turn around and be like, all right, do we have like, not that the tour guide doesn't know what they're doing, but he's like, do we have everybody? And
the house didn't steal somebody.
Well, and sometimes you're like walking and there's like uneven ground, and don't trip on this and all. Like it was just really sweet. So I 10 out of 10 recommend the RIP tour. I think it's amazing. Again, it's not that much more than Express. So if you're like, hey, I only have one night at HHN and I really want to experience it, I really do think that the RIP tour is the way to go. If you're like, hey, I just really want to hit the haunted houses, great. Express pass, rock and roll.
Yeah,
like,
do
do it. But if you're also like, ooh, I don't want to pay that extra, but I want to do a few nights at HHN, okay, then you could probably forego the add-ons. But truthfully, it might be cheaper to do
just
one night at HHN
with
with an add-on.
Than doing several nights. Yeah, that's probably really.
And I think that's better. I mean, it's hard to say because some people like to do it different ways, but I think that'd be better to do it all in one than get all worked up every single day, go at night. There's a lot of people like to do that 3 days in a row. I feel like it'd get tiring personally. Yeah.
And it's a late night.
Exactly.
I think HHN goes until 2 a.m.
Yeah. Or I thought.
I think did we even make it to midnight? Because we even talked about going back. I don't even think we made it to midnight, did we? I think Gavin, he's the night owl. And
I was like, Gavin, did you make it when you went with your friends?
Yeah,
though?
we stayed until close.
When I went with my friend when we did the RIP tour, The RIP tour, by the way, is like 5 hours out of so it's not even the whole event, right? So you have some time before and after. Thankfully, like our tour ended around midnight, and I just looked at it and I was like, is there anything else that we need to do? And she's like, no, I'm good. I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you still have time before and after your tour, depending on where the timing sits of it, that you could for sure go do some other aspects of the event too on your own. So
Yeah.
definitely.
That's like the Death Eaters. You could run over there.
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite things. We haven't talked about that.
Oh, that was really, really cool, actually.
No, I was happy we got to run over and see them.
Yes.
I hope they bring those back this year. People got a little out of control last year towards the end of the year. So I really hope that Universal brings the Death Eaters back in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Over in Diagon Alley. Very, very cool.
The interactions that they had with every guest, too. It wasn't just like, one family. It'd be, you'd run up there and you'd put your hand and they'd like do a whole thing. I loved it.
It was cool. Yeah.
I loved seeing kids.
No, little,
right?
yeah.
I mean, they were kind of young kids, like school-age kids, and they do like wizard battles with them, with their wands and everything. And I was like, that's so cool.
Which, again, that isn't part of HHN, but I'm telling you, we kind of made a priority of that the day that, because we actually still went to the parks and then did the event. But that was really, really cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And we got so, like, somehow we timed that so perfectly that we, like, walked in there. They'd kind of do a set. This also happens in the scare zones, but, like, sets happen every 30 minutes or so. So the performers come out, they're on stage for 15 to 20 minutes. Then they come off stage, another round comes through, like, every 30 minutes. And we somehow timed it perfectly that they were just getting ready to start it, and they did their whole like performance thing and then like walked up Diagon Alley, and I had goosebumps. I thought it was so cool.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, especially being like, if you're a Harry Potter person, or I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, our family is it's kind of a thing for our family, and like literally I was like, we're like here with the Death Eaters. Like that kind of freaked me out as much as walking through a scare.
It's sweet.
But it was so cool. Great out of the box thinking. And I know that this year they have not announced, to my knowledge, so correct me if I'm wrong, they have not announced what every single house is going to be yet. I do not believe.
At the time they were recording, they've announced a few of the houses, but we don't have the full list yet.
Yeah, I have to be there for another in Orlando for another event in October, and I'm kind of thinking, I kind of want to go to that again. I really do.
You really should. It's so like,
it's awesome.
Again, I've gone 3 or 4 years in a row now, and again, my very first year, I literally just stood on the sidewalk the whole time, friends. And now, like, again, this last one, I did the RIP tour. I actually went through some haunted houses. So I feel like the next time that I go back, even if I'm not on the RIP tour, I would, trust me, if I'm going to the event, I'm going to have the RIP tour or Express Pass, just as an FYI. Like, if you've met me, I don't wait in lines. So I'm going to have one of those too. But, like, I feel like I could actually go through some of the haunted houses now. Like, even though I think I went 3 or 4 times without setting foot in a haunted house.
I think I can do it. I think I can do one. Yeah. I can do like whatever they say the easiest one is. That would be a big thing for me to actually be able to walk through.
Honest to God, I think you could do higher than like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I also think, right, Amy, we talked about the Unmasking the Horror tour that we did as well. I do think, so I purposely went through... So I think we've viewed 3, and there was one of the houses that we did during the unmasking tour that I was like, I am not going through this one. And so there were 2 others that we went through, and I was like, you know what? I am going to go ahead and go through this house, because I had seen it with the lights on, and so it helped me understand. And when you go through it with the lights on, you can start to figure out like where a performer is going to be versus like 100%. Where the safe part is. And so it helped me to be able to go through and enjoy those houses, and you can see a lot more details. So if you're somebody who's like, I'm a bit nervous, maybe start with the Unmasking the Horror tour, where you get to go during the day and see it.
I think that's what helped to make that whole experience
it really
better for me.
It's so cool to see the amount of details that they put into the whole event, but like
I also recommend it if you're not a chicken, because it's like I said, like you can see everything that you are love about the show or the house or whatever. You get to see everything in detail, and like they point stuff out to you, and like that makes it even just as cool in my opinion.
Yeah. When we were on the tour, there was actually a couple that was there, locals that are, annual pass holders.
Yes.
And they were doing the unmasking tour
Yes.
because they love HHN as an event so much. And so they're like, yeah, we do. They're like, we do multiple unmasking tours so that we get to go behind the scenes in the majority of the houses.
That's really cool.
And they're like, and then it makes it super cool for them to then go see it at night and go watch, like in the actual event. And so it's like,
hey,
there's so many ways to go and experience it. And I think we all agree HHN is a very cool, very well done event for people.
Underrated in some of my circles, I can say. So I was glad I was able to talk about it because it isn't something that typically I would do. And it was so much fun. And I would like recommend it to my clients, but I wouldn't like really recommend it. I would say, this is going on while you're there. But now I'm like, okay, this is going on and you really need to go do this event.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a lot of fun. I say I'm all in. I don't know if that's a segue. If we're getting
right. Well, let's take this as our segue. So, welcome to Amy's All In. If you're new here, this is where the Amy shares something that we're all in about, usually related to the topic that we're discussing. Fun, just in case Gavin's not prepared.
I am.
I was like, oh, look at that. See, I try to be nice and give him notes ahead of time. But we also have our guest speaker also share. So we're going to do Amy's All In, where we tell you what our favorite thing about HHN is. So, Gavin, do you want to go first since you're prepared and ready?
Sure, I even wrote a little note.
Ooh, look at this.
Right.
It's not anything crazy, but this is just, I'm prepared. This is something.
We like organization.
Yes, we do.
No, I'd say the scare actors. I just thought like I've even talked about it a little bit with just the Death Eaters with your friend that worked there that we got to see. Getting to talk to her about stuff was very cool in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that the actors get enough credit. Like they work so hard to put on a show every single night for these people. Mm-hmm. And it's an amazing show. The details that they go into it, the makeup that they like, you don't think of the hours it takes just for them to throw makeup on. Like it's detailed too. The costumes, like them running up with chainsaws and like they are trying to scare you as well. Like it's just this like community where you feel like you're all doing it for fun. Like they get the fun out of scaring you. You're there because you're trying to get scared. Like I just think that they deserve all the credit in the world. Like they literally make the entire experience. Like you can have the most detailed house in the world, but if your actors are just like, you're not going to get really scared. But I personally, like, I could go on and on and on about it, but I just think that they're the best. Like they make the whole entire night.
And they each have like such a huge backstory too. Like it's amazing.
But I mean, really, what a good way to say that, because without the actors, there is no HHN.
No, exactly. It's not even, it's nothing.
I love it.
And they work so hard to get there too. That's what's crazy.
I think there's auditions that start. And so, I mean, it's a pretty rigorous process. So,
No, it's cool.
All right, Amy, what's yours?
My all in? Oh my goodness. I know, because we only get one. So since I can't say snacks, I will say I'm all in on those scare zones, you guys. I thought the scare zones were so much fun. And I really like that we started, the three of us did go like right when it opened. So it was still daylight. And I think that helped me prepare too, because I was a pro by the time we left and it was dark. Like, I'm like, oh, I can walk through these scare zones. And I'm all in. The whole experience. I love that they have different theme scare zones.
I agree.
Just the acting that goes into the performances are incredible. So that was my all in. That there's an escape on the sidewalk if you need it, but like all in on walk and actually doing it, like walk through the scare zone.
Committed. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And if you walk fast, they can't catch you.
They won't ever see
That's
you.
very true. So take it from me. You just walk. You just walk.
Like, just go. Just go. Oh, all right.
What about you?
I'm all in. I agree with you guys on what you said, but I'm all in on the RIP tour.
That's a good one.
Maybe doesn't come as a shock in that, but if you want truly the best experience at HHN, I don't care if you do the private or the non-private version, but the RIP tour gives you such an elevated experience because not only do you go through the scare zones or go through the haunted houses, but your tour guide is telling you more of the backstory of like, this is why this house was set up the way that it was, or this is the backstory of these scare zone performers, and this is what story they're telling you. And there's always so much more to it. And don't get me wrong, the performers in the zone are fabulous at what they do. But when you understand more of what's actually happening, you're just like, oh my gosh, like it just blows your mind. And it's so, to me, especially the non-private RIP tour feels like such an excellent value for your night, right? You're going to go through the houses and all of it. And like, it's just, it really is such a cool experience. So I'm all in on that. I will 100% be doing an RIP tour again and highly recommend them to my clients plus any other like clients.
You have me really wanting to do.
I know. I was kind of thinking, yeah. See, I like it. I like it. Which, always kind of just another great segue into why you should book with Goofy Getaways. Don't forget, because Amy and I have so much fun bringing all kinds of different topics to you. The travel, we love to travel. We like to travel together. We do travel separately as well. So I feel like we can give you really good
sometimes, yeah.
I know. But like, I feel like we do a good job of of mixing up all sorts of travel so that we really are knowledgeable. And it's really important to me as an agency owner that all of the agents, consultants that work for the company know the products that they're talking about. So we really do try to bring that to you and definitely have our agents like experience all of this. So I think last year after Amy and I went, we did get a couple agents that were like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go next year. So hopefully anyone that's listening or watching, however you're getting the podcast, hopefully we've talked you into at least trying it. Remember that you can reach out to us at www.goofygetaways.com. You can absolutely click the little button to get a quote or to meet our team. If you have an agent that you like to work with, that's fantastic. If you don't have one, Amy does an amazing job of matching clients with our consultants. So check out our Facebook, which is Goofy Getaways. Check out our Instagram. We even have TikTok. So we're trying to bring everything that we can to you to give you the most value to your experience while also having the best experience. So we like to, talk about value, but we also do a lot of luxury. So we like to be able to give you whatever it is that you're looking for. So don't forget about all of our services. We are here to help you have the most magical vacation, no matter what destination. Am I missing anything on that? Anything else I need to add, ma'am?
Don't think so, but let's add in, that was great, but let's also add in as a reminder, if you haven't heard some of our other podcast episodes here at Goofy Getaways, we are a U-Preferred Agency, which means we have a partnership with Universal Destinations, and all of our agents are required to stay up to date on the most important information. So if you're considering a Universal vacation or any destination, but especially on Universal vacations, we truly are knowledgeable, and we are here to give you the best experience possible, no matter what that looks like. So
absolutely. And remember, you can obviously see us here on YouTube, but we are also on Spotify and on iTunes, which is really, really cool. So Apple Podcast. Huge thank you to Gavin, who volunteered to talk a little bit.
No, thank you guys.
I was kind of telling Voluntelling, and he was like, no, I'm all in on helping you guys out. So
we love it.
I was happy
we
to
love
talk.
it. So
sweet.
yeah, hopefully we brought you a little bit of insight. And get ready, because we've got more podcasts coming up, kind of our little fall, winter, all of the fun things that are happening all over the place.
There's so much coming. There's so much coming. So stay tuned.
Yeah. But until then, we will see ya
real soon.
If you liked today's episode of the Goofy Getaways podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to follow Goofy Getaways on social media so we can lead you to the magic.